Tyler Warren was ranked as the 22nd best tight end in the 2020 college football recruiting class, so we're the 21 tight ends ranked higher than him now. Well, to start, just one spot ahead of him, and number 21 is Elijah Yelverton, coming out of Dallas, Texas, who committed to play for Iowa. And he was a complete bust at Iowa, never playing a single down of football there, transferring to Colorado in 2023, where he also did not play at all this season. And cracking into the top 20 is Caden Clark, coming out of Akron, Ohio, who committed to play for Alabama. And he was also a complete bust at Alabama, never playing a single snap there, transferring back to his hometown team Akron in 2022. And even transferring back, he still has yet to play snap for Akron. And coming in at number 19 is Ben Urasa, coming out of Bakersfield, California, who committed to play for Stanford. And he had a dominating redshirt freshman season at Stanford, having 42 catches for 653 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, as he became a second-team All-Pac-12 selection. And after this, he would go and have 2 more good seasons at Stanford, and then would enter the transfer portal and was a 4-star transfer and the 116th best overall player, transferring to play for Georgia. Sadly, though, in this season for Georgia, he was a little bit underwhelming and is returning to the Bulldogs. And tied at number 17 is John Kupenhaver, coming out of Roswell, Georgia, who committed to play for North Carolina. And in his 4 years of college football at North Carolina, he improved every single season. And he became a pretty solid player for them and is returning to the Tar Heels for 2025. And also tied with him at number 17 is Connor O'Toole, who committed to play for Utah. And at Utah, he never played tight end, being converted to a defensive lineman, where he's been a pretty solid player for them and is returning in 2025. And coming in at number 16 is Cole Taylor, coming out of Grand Junction, Colorado, who committed to play for LSU. And in his 3 years of college football at LSU, he was a complete bust there, only scoring 1 touchdown, so he decided to enter the transfer portal and was a 3-star transfer. And on Christmas Day 2022, he ultimately decided to transfer to West Virginia, where he's had 2 amazing seasons for the Mountaineers. And he declared for the 2025 NFL Draft, where he's expected to get drafted towards the tail end. And cracking into the top 15 is Dominic Mamorelli, coming out of Naples, Florida, who committed to play for Miami. He was a complete and total bust there, only having 1 catch for negative yards. And that's what he did his entire career, and is now currently working as an account executive. And coming in at number 14 is Joe Royer, coming out of Cincinnati, Ohio, who committed to play for Ohio State. And in his 3 years at Ohio State, he was a complete bust there, never scoring a single touchdown, so he decided to transfer to Cincinnati in 2024. And in his first year with the Bearcats, he completely dominated, being named a first-team All-Big 12 selection and is returning in 2025. And at number 13 is Lucas Unger, coming out of Morristown, New Jersey, who committed to play for Stanford. And he was a complete and total bust at Stanford, only having 3 catches for 13 yards in his entire career. And now he currently works as a marketing and media intern at Lockerverse. And coming in at number 12 is Matthew Hibner, coming out of Burke, Virginia, who committed to play for Michigan. And in his time at Michigan, he was a complete bust there, only having 2 catches for 15 yards. So this offseason, he decided to transfer to play for the SMU Mustangs. And in this season with SMU, he had a very solid year and is returning for the Mustangs in 2025. And at number 11 is Luke Lackley, coming out of Columbus, Ohio, who committed to play for Iowa. And in his 4 years of college football at Iowa, his stats were never eye-popping, but he was a very good blocker as well. And he declared for the 2025 NFL Draft, where he is expected to get drafted. And cracking into the top 10 is Jack Yerry, coming out of Marietta, California, who committed to play for Washington. And he's the definition of a bust, as he never showed up to Washington, completely quitting on the team and then getting in some very serious legal troubles. And coming in at number 9 is Brandon Frazier, coming out of McKinney, Texas, who committed to play for Auburn. And so far in his 4 years of college football at Auburn, he's just looking like a bust, as he's never had over 100 receiving yards in a season. And at number 8 is DJ Rogers, coming out of Sandwich, Washington, who committed to play for California. And in his 2 years of college football at Washington, he never played there, and so in 2023, he decided to transfer to TCU. And with TCU, he's never been amazing, but has been a solid player for them. And at number 7 is Mark Redmond, coming in Newport Beach, California, who committed to play for Washington. And he only had 1 catch in his entire career at Washington, so in 2022, he decided to transfer to San Diego State. And he was a very good player at SDSU for 2 seasons, which allowed him to enter the portal again as a 4-star and the 139th best overall transfer. And this offseason, he transferred to Louisville, where he had a very solid season and just entered the 2025 NFL Draft, where he's expected to get drafted on day 3. And at number 6 is Kevin Ballman, coming out of Red Bank, New Jersey, who committed to play for Notre Dame. And just overall, in his 4 years of college football at Notre Dame, he's a complete bust there, only scoring 1 touchdown. And cracking into the top 5 is Jalen Conyers, coming out of Groover, Texas, who committed to play for Oklahoma. And he never played a single down at Oklahoma, transferring to Arizona State in 2021. And in his 3 years with Arizona State, he became a very good tight end, which allowed him to enter the portal again as a 4-star transfer and the 87th best overall player, transferring to Texas Tech. And in his first season with the Red Raiders this year, he was very good, being named a second-team All-Big 12 selection. And coming in at number 4 is Malik Carr, coming into Oak Park, Michigan, who committed to play for Purdue. And he only played 1 season at Purdue before transferring to Michigan State for 3 seasons, where he was very solid there. After this offseason, he decided to transfer to Houston, where he had kind of a down year, but still declared for the 2025 NFL Draft. And cracking into the top 3 is Theo Johnson, coming out of Windsor, Ontario, who committed to play for Penn State. And in his 4 years of college football at Penn State, he was an extremely good tight end there, which allowed him to be selected in the 4th round of the 2024 NFL Draft drafted by the Giants, where he had a solid rookie season. And coming in at number 2 is Michael Mayer, coming out of Alexandria, Kentucky, who committed to play for Notre Dame. And in his 3 years of college football at Notre Dame, he was the best tight end in the entire nation and was dominant, becoming a consensus All-American. And this allowed him to be selected in the second round of the 2023 NFL Draft by the Raiders, where he's been solid for 2 seasons but has not been great. And at number 1 is Eric Gilbert, coming out of Marietta, Georgia, who committed to play for LSU. And he had an amazing freshman season at LSU in 2020 before deciding to enter the portal, transferring to Florida, and then transferring once again to Georgia. And in his 2 years of college football at Georgia, he was a complete bust, barely playing there, but still winning 2 national championships, transferring to Nebraska once again in 2023. And in his 1 year of college football with Nebraska this season, he did not play at all and entered the transfer portal once again this year.